Testing. Can y'all hear me? Okay. So let's see here. All right. This is the first time I'm recording in the studio for my podcast, for my channel. And today I want to welcome you back to 12 rounds. I take that back. See, I'm mixed up here because I got the sign in the background, 12 rounds for drilling. This is actually Prison Yard TV. So as you can see, we got the mics hooked up, headphones hooked up. So stay tuned for this Saturday, 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., 12 rounds of adrenaline with Tony the Tiger Lopez is going to be interviewing none other than his bigger brother, Sal Lopez, which used to be a boxer. Trained Tony for a while. Actually trained Tony for the Chavez fight, the Julio Cesar Chavez fight. And they're going to talk a little bit about that, about Sal's career. But today, I wanted to really talk about the difference, the change in gangbanging and our music culture from the 70s to 80s to the 2000s. As you guys know, I'm in my 50s. I'm in my early 50s. Been gangbanging essentially since I was a kid, 1983 to be exact. And back then it was more of a culture where the gang really started from the people that you grew up with in the neighborhood. It was like 6 of us, 7 of us that always hung around from junior high school on up. And the closest thing to us back then was Detroit Boulevard Bloods and 29th Street. Of course, I never read that much, but that ain't the reason why I joined. I just wanted to be a part of something. There was also the Northenials from the Gardens, and they was our partners too. So I took to the blue side, the Crip side, and that's how I got put on. I didn't even get put on. I take that back. Back then, there wasn't no one to put us on. We was the first generation from 29th Street. I won't get into names because there's a lot of debates. Who started 29th Street? Who was the first individual? Which really does not matter. And I would never try to take credit for that. However, I was first generation. But the difference between when I gangbanged up in the prison until today is these kids, 12, even 11, 10 years old, on up to their early 30s. There is no, the beef starts with two neighborhoods and it's automatic killing. There's no fist fights. And it's hard to understand for a parent now and a grandparent to understand why you would have to bury your 13-year-old son. I just seen something on the news yesterday. There was a shooting in Del Paso Heights 3 years ago. And a little girl, 7 years old, I think she was 7. She was around 7. Michaela, I believe. I don't want to get her name wrong. It was the 30-year anniversary where the shooting happened at a park. Killed this little girl. It was the 3-year anniversary yesterday. And the individual that did it got 114 years to life, which he deserves. But back then, when I was gangbanging at 13, 14 years old, that was unheard of. I can't even remember an incident where a child got killed in a drive-by when I was gangbanging back then. Individuals got shot, but it really had to be a serious beef. I remember fist fights at the mall, in juvenile hall, at the school, John Steele and McClatchy and Burbank. But it wasn't a real quick to pull a gun out and shoot. It was we built up to that, and it took years for that. Maybe 2-3 years of funking with the same neighborhood, there would be shootouts, and that goes along with gangbanging. But nowadays, it's off the dribble. Soon as you start making enemies, it don't matter if it's with another hood, another individual, they're shooting. I don't want to get into my personal family life, but I have kids, and unfortunately, one of my kids is fighting a shooting case right now. She, yes, I said she is out on bail for a shooting case, and she claims that she's from Oak Park, Zilla to be exact. And for a father to really grasp that, say I wasn't from a gang, I never gang banged. For a father to grasp that his daughter grew up claiming a gang, and it doesn't matter that it's the gang that I feuded with all my life, but just to grasp that is very hard. But now to grasp that she went and she belongs to the actual gang that was always my enemies growing up. Um, my son, also my oldest son, he claims Oak Park too. He's from Oak Park, and I don't have a problem with Oak Park. I don't have a problem with no neighborhood, but to grasp that whole concept, your dad's a Crip from 29th Street, used to be, and you're from his actual number one enemyhood, is hard to grasp. And now that she had caught this case, she's been out on bail for 2 years now fighting this case. I'm not going to get into details, but to really fathom what that means, we have to we have to break this cycle. We have to break this chain with our kids and our grandkids. We don't want them out there in the street. We don't want them in prison because other than that, they're going to end up dead. And I know that. I know what comes along with it. I was there. I've been in prison. It's not nice for women and girls either. It's probably worse in a women's facility. So to really grasp what our kids in 2023, the gang culture in Sacramento and in Stockton and everything else around here is very um it's dangerous. There's more killings in these months right now. This is, if you're from Sacramento, you'll know what I'm talking about. Um, this is funk season from May through September in Sacramento. Everyone's funking. In the winter months, not so much. Summer months, everyone puts their rides up. They get rental cars, they ride buckets, and it's on. So we really have to make that change in this city, in the surrounding cities. I can imagine LA in the summertime. If Sacramento's off the chain like this, I can imagine what LA is like in the summertime down there in the gang culture. It's crazy to me. So we do have to step up, try to talk to our children, and let them know what they're headed for in detail. My kids, you can't scare them; they're grown. Um, so there is no scaring. One of them already been to prison, my oldest son, and you need to talk to them about this. And that's what I try. I try to do that through my channel, through the phone calls. Sometimes I get non-responses, and it hurts. It really does hurt. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the music influence, the rap influence of our children. So back when I was growing up, I remember the first rap album that I had was Sugar Hill Gang. And of course, I was intrigued by that. Now, from that era, the late 70s, early 80s, to now in 2023, everything is gangster rap. You got drill music, which is gangster rap. They're talking about killing shit. That's all they talk about with drill music. But the change between the 70s and early 80s till now is drastic. Look at Run DMC. I think 83 Run DMC came out with what what's that rock group they recorded with I forget. Anyways, from Run DMC to Grandmaster Flash Furious 5 to all the way up to 88 when NWA came out. That is a drastic change in our music culture. And when kids listen to that, I don't know what just happened to my camera. My camera just shut off. Let me go check this out. I'll be right back. Corey, I just went and looked at your comments, bro. I appreciate it. Um, as you can see, I'm at the studio, so all the equipment, I can't read your comments from here. All the comments are over there at the computer. I will have a monitor up so I can read my comments as they come on this wall right here. I just haven't put it up yet. So I can't read your comments, but yeah, I seen that Aerosmith, Run DMC, recorded with Aerosmith. So that music up until the change, I think became was in '88. And that change really was the influence, the beginning of the influence on the gang culture. And today, what do you think our kids are doing? They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube, they're on Snapchat, they're on TikTok. They're watching these videos and they're emulating them. And it's not a good thing. Um, I seen the change happen when I was in prison. I used to call home all the time and hear about the first time I heard about the new Sacramento gangs. And to me, the new Sacramento gangs, you gotta be reminded I'm 50. I'm over 50. So Zilla, Stars, all these new, um, I want to call them. I don't want to say knockoffs. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but this new era gangbanging has changed tremendously. And to me, it's the influence of our music that has changed it. So we really have to step up and watch what our younger kids are listening to. And if you can, monitor their phones, monitor everything they do, because they're growing up and they're listening to the stuff, then they're going to school emulating it. And it's not a good thing. I think the biggest change was from, for me, this is my opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this, but the biggest change in our music culture was between 84 and 85 to 90, maybe 93 when Sibo's first album came out, Gas Chamber. I know he was influenced by Ice Cube, NWA, Easy. I know he was influenced by many rappers. We talked about this in person before. I heard him say it on different people's shows. He was influenced by them people. And of course, he was in California Youth Authority. When he came home from there, that's when he made his first album with my brother. And I think that during that era, from the late 80s to the early 90s, was the biggest change in our rap culture. Now everyone wants to be a gangster rapper, and our kids are listening to that. And I want you to listen to me. Monitor what your kids are listening to, because they're emulating at school. Everyone wants to be a rapper now. Everyone wants to be a podcaster. Everyone wants to get views. Everybody wants to emulate these people that are on these YouTube channels and these platforms rapping. They want to be the hardest. And a lot of them, back in the days, only a select few rappers were living what they was rapping about. Nowadays, if the rappers aren't living it, they're trying to, and it don't make no sense to me. Um, I know the people that I was involved with in the music industry, AWOL Records, everything Sibo rapped about, believe me, we was doing. Spice One, he's another one. Was living what he was rapping about. Um, a lot of the other cats, I can't say they weren't because I wasn't in that camp. But AWOL Records, Everything Bo was rapping about, we was living it. Believe that. Nowadays, 70, 75% of these young rappers, they're rapping about their lives, or they're trying to live up to what they're rapping about, and that becomes a dangerous situation. Um, I don't want to talk about 6ix9ine, um, what's that? Gunner and Stunner and all of them. I don't want to talk about all that because there are court cases going on. But just think about it. They're all rapping about stuff, and then they're in jail fighting cases. So that tells you how this music culture is changing. And oh, what's going on here? Let me see. Can you guys hear me clear? Oh shit! I wasn't even live on my Instagram. I've been on this for a few minutes now, and I thought my Instagram was recording, and it wasn't. I'm live. This is the new studio, and I just got the mic set up. I gotta revamp what I said earlier. So I just want to let you know that the studio is up and running. I'll give you a view of it. I'll give you a 360 of the new studio. This is the studio where we're recording 12 rounds of adrenaline and my podcast. So my podcast, we're going to set up on that side of the room. There goes the cameras. There goes the laptops. See the microphones. See the headsets. But so yeah, this is our setup here. And we just got the mics hooked up today. That's why I'm doing this podcast here. I should be recording here every day. Um, Mr. 214 Lope, what's happening? Okay, I see you. I've been on a while. I thought it was recording on my Instagram the whole time, and it wasn't. So if you guys want to go back and look at this, go back and look at my YouTube channel, Prison Yard TV. You guys could go back and check it out. If you already haven't liked, subscribed, and hit that notification bell, go on and do that now. I still got 12 shirts left. Um, I think there's 9 extra large blue and red. I think I have a few medium black and a couple purples. So if you guys want to still buy a shirt with my old logo, Prison Yard TV, I don't have one on now. I thought I did. You guys could cash out me $25.99, send me the address, and I'll have it to you within a few days. If you're in Sacramento, I could bring it to you, or surrounding areas. If not, you're gonna have to pay the shipping and handling, which is $9.99. So it'll be $35.99. I'm not having no more of my old logo printed up. I'm gonna have my new logo printed up next time. John, what's happening, John? I see you. Um, how come you're not on my YouTube channel, John? You're on my Instagram. Go to my YouTube channel, bro. Tap in on my YouTube channel. I seen you golf with my brother the other day. So go ahead and tap in on my YouTube channel. Yep, I see you, John. So, anyways, like I was saying, we have to monitor what our kids are listening to. Oh shit! Because if we don't, this rap is influencing everything they're doing, and it's a big influence on our younger kids because they are emulating everything these rappers are talking about. They're going to school, they want to be rappers, and they're trying to emulate them. So monitor what our kids are listening to, what they're listening to, what they're watching on their phones. You have to monitor it. Let me get off of this live. Bam, bam, bam. Uh, sorry about that, y'all. I just gotta make sure this is recording. All right. So, like I was saying, the reason why I'm making this video is so hopefully I can enlighten one or two parents out there. If you're having problems with your kids, you might want to monitor their phones. For me, um, I didn't have a cell phone when I was that young, 12, 13 years old. We had pagers back then. But nowadays, everybody got a damn cell phone, 10 years old and on up. And I don't think that's the brightest thing to do as a parent, give your 10 to 12-year-old a cell phone. I know some parents try to justify it. Oh, what if there's an emergency? Well, there was emergencies back when I was 12 years old and we handled it. The teacher called or someone else had a phone, but your kids shouldn't have a cell phone that young. They're looking at things they shouldn't be looking at. They're listening to the music they shouldn't be listening to. So I think that's a big part of how we raise our kids is them cell phones. Everything nowadays, this is our everyone's life nowadays, these things, these iPhones. If we take these away, don't put them in our kids' hands at a too young an age, I think it'll eliminate a lot of problems in the streets, and that goes for every city. Oh shit, Busy Bone, hit me, bro. Um, I shot you my number. It's in your DMs. Um, I see you was active. I see you made a comment. Go ahead and hit me, man, when you get a chance. I'll be off of this in a few minutes. The Bone Thugs and Harmony will be in Sacramento on June 3rd. So if you haven't seen the Bone Thugs and Harmony in person, they will be at the venue on June 3rd. Tap in. Peace. I gotta leave. Everything's shutting down. If you already haven't hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and support this channel. If you haven't already told the people you love them. You don't know if we're going to be here tomorrow. Stay blessed and stay up. I'll tap in tomorrow.